You've seen the videos. Update this, upgrade that, drop 10K and watch the offers roll in. And hey, smart updates can help your home stand out. But here's the thing, not everyone has the time, the money, or the energy to start a mini HGTV episode before they sell. The good news? You don't have to go broke to make your home shine. There's a smarter way to prep your home for today's market, and it starts with knowing what really moves the needle and what's just noise. In this video, I am breaking down the strategy behind smart home prep, starting with why most home updates don't actually boost your home value, but they can totally change how your buyers feel about the property. Then, we'll talk about what to do if your home does need some work and how to decide if it's worth spending all that money. And finally, I'll walk you through the process that gets buyers through the door and ready to make an offer without blowing your budget or losing your mind. Let's start with something that trips up a lot of sellers, thinking they need to throw money at updates just to get their home sold. I get it. You go on Facebook or Instagram and suddenly you're knee deep in before and afters of $30,000 kitchen makeovers. But here's the thing, if your house is structurally sound, livable, and not falling apart at the seams, most updates won't actually increase your home's appraised value. And you don't need to gut your kitchen or replace every floorboard to attract buyers. What you do need is a strategy that can increase perceived value. And that, my friend, makes a huge difference. Perceived value is all about how buyers feel when they walk in through the front door. It's the difference between, this place is fine, and whoa, this feels like home. And the best part, you don't have to blow your budget to make that happen. Think simple, decluttering, deep cleaning, fresh mulch in the flower beds and around trees, a freshly mowed lawn, edged walkways, trimmed hedges. This is the kind of stuff that buyers may not consciously point out, but they'll absolutely feel it. It tells them this home has been cared for, and that feeling builds trust before they ever step inside. I've had sellers who spent nothing but a weekend sprucing up their yard, clearing out the clutter in their home, and making the place shine. Then walked away with a full price offer because buyers saw it as move in ready. That's the power of presentation. And here's a bonus tip, most folks totally overlook this too. Paint and lighting, these are your secret weapons. A fresh coat of neutral paint, think light grayish or soft white, can make a space feel bigger, brighter, and more modern. And you don't even need to repaint every room, just clean up the walls so buyers aren't distracted by scuffs or that deep red dining room from 2006. Oh, and speaking of bigger, dark walls and bulky furniture can shrink a room fast. Buyers want light, bright, and open. Use your layout and lighting to help them breathe when they walk through. So here's the bottom line, not everyone needs to renovate, you just need to refresh. And when you do it with the buyer's experience in mind, you're already ahead of most homes on the market. All right, so let's say your home does need a little more than decluttering and a fresh coat of paint. Maybe the deck is falling apart, the HVAC is on life support, or there's water damage in the basement that's been quietly ignored for, a decade or so. Um, Now, we're in a different territory here. And here's where I want you to shift from cosmetic thinking to strategic investing, because some updates actually do have a solid return on investment. Not the shiny, showy ones, but I'm talking about the unsexy, functional stuff that directly affects whether a buyer says yes or no. If a deck is rotting, a roof is leaking, or your HVAC sounds like it's about to launch into orbit, those are deal killers. Not just because they're expensive, but because they scream future headache to buyers. And buyers don't want a headache, they want peace of mind. So here's the rule of thumb, Fix what will affect your buyer's ability and comfortability to live in or finance the home. Things like structural issues, HVAC systems, roofs or siding that are in bad shape, major plumbing or electrical concerns. Those aren't upgrades, those are expectations. And if those things are broken, it's going to show up in your offers or worse, in your inspection report. Now, let's talk money because I know what you're thinking. Great bin sounds expensive. Where's that money supposed to come from? And you're right, this stuff isn't always cheap. But if you're sitting on equity in your home, you might have options beyond just swiping a credit card and crossing your fingers. Consider a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, or a renovation loan. These are tools that let you tap into your home's equity before you sell so you can make key improvements that actually help the sale happen. The goal here isn't a full blown remodel. You're not auditioning for the next season of Fixer Upper. So keep that in mind. You're solving problems that would cost you more down the line, either in lower offers, longer days on market, or painful inspection negotiations. That said, don't just start fixing everything in sight. This is where having the right strategy matters. Focus on the fixes that solve problems for your buyer, not just the ones that look good in listing photos. It's easy to get caught up in trendy upgrades, but the real wins come from making a home that feels solid, safe, and move in ready. Fix the AC before you start dreaming of shiplap walls. Replace the water stained ceiling before you order new cabinet hardware. You're not just making it look pretty, you're making it purchase ready. If you're not sure which updates are actually worth doing or how to make smart choices that pay off, go grab my free seller playbook. It's loaded with real world advice, practical checklists, and no fluff guidance to help you prep smarter, spend wisely, and sell with confidence. From questions to ask when interviewing agents so you don't end up with someone who lists it and leaves it, to tips on marketing your home the right way with an agent who knows how to launch it and lead it all the way to the closing table. You'll find the link in the description. Go ahead and download it today. So here's where it all comes together. And if you take nothing else away from this video, take this. Selling your home is a process, a funnel, and your job is to guide buyers through it. Too many homeowners try to skip steps or throw energy into the wrong part of the funnel. They'll spend $12,000 on a bathroom renovation, but then snap a few crooked iPhone pics and throw the listing online with zero plan. Or they'll clean like crazy for showings, but forget to actually declutter the listing photos, or mow the yard, or fix the peeling front door paint. Here's the thing, none of those efforts work in isolation. You need a process, a sequence, a funnel that makes buyers say yes with confidence. Let's break it down. Step one is to get people through the door. This is the top of the funnel. It's marketing, yes, but it's also first impressions. And most of those impressions happen before anyone steps foot inside your home. Online is the new curb appeal. If the photos look dark, cluttered, or random, buyers scroll right past. But if your home looks clean, intentional, and well cared for, if the updates you did are highlighted in the right way, this is what pulls them in. And here is a little pro tip for you. Professional photography is non negotiable. And those listing photos, they need to tell a story. They're not just showing rooms, they're showcasing a lifestyle. You're saying this could be your next chapter. And remember, this part of the funnel isn't just about your house looking good, it's about making buyers feel like it's worth seeing in person. Now, step two is make them feel at home. And now we're in the middle of the funnel here, and this is the experience stage. They've seen the listing, they've booked the showing, and now they're standing in your living room. Here's where it gets real. You want them to walk in and instantly relax. You want them to picture themselves having coffee in the kitchen island, hosting Thanksgiving in the dining room, binge watching Netflix in the living room. What you don't want is loud paint colors, overwhelming personal decor, rooms that are crammed full of furniture, spaces that feel chaotic or confusing. Because the truth is, buyers aren't just walking through your home, they're mentally trying it on. They're asking themselves, can I live here? Does this feel like me? Can I see our family here in this home? If your home is cluttered, over decorated, or feels like someone else's life is all over it, that becomes a no before they even finish the tour. So keep it clean, keep it neutral, and make space for imagination to take over. That's how you move them from interest to emotional connection. All right, time for step three. This is the bottom of the funnel. And if you've done the first two steps well, you're not just getting offers, you're getting better ones, stronger ones, confident, motivated buyers who already feel at home and are ready to make it official. This is where all your prep work, updates, and strategy pay off. Buyers who feel good about home will write better offers, period. They're less likely to nitpick, less likely to hesitate, and less likely to nickel and dime you during inspections. And here's the wild part most sellers don't even realize. When a home feels dialed in, clean, and move in ready, buyers will actually still compete for it. Even if it's not the fanciest house on the block, even if you didn't do every single update, because the overall experience, it just feels right. You don't need to break the bank. You just need a smart plan. Focus on what buyers feel, what makes the right move for them, and then trust the process. That's how you sell with confidence. I'm Ben Dings, and I'll see you next time.